You've heard of rock, paper, scissors in the context of focus attacks, light attacks and parries. But did you know that there is a similar system for fights between two Tianhais in their ultimate Vajra state? Stop button mashing in Vajra fights right now and listen. Left click counters F, F counters right click, and right click counters left click. If you're using the correct counter, it's okay if your attack is a little later than your enemy's, it will still connect and outdamage him. With practice, you can even react to some Vajra attacks, instead of trying to predict them. If both Vajras use the same ability at the same time, they deal equal damage to each other. A formula that works against some enemies is this. You open with right click, because if your enemy is trying to grab your teammate with left click, your right click will punish him. Then you walk up to him after the knockback and follow up with F, because some enemies will use right click after your previous right click just damaged them a lot. Then you use left click because the enemy will fully focus on the fight with you and is likely to use F in response to your previous F. Against inexperienced enemies who don't know about the Vajra fighting system, with a bit of luck, you can always be one step ahead. What could also happen is that the enemy Vajra instantly focuses on the fight with you and you both open with right click, so both of you take equal damage, and it turns into a sort of mind game. Or if you practiced Vajra fights in custom 1v1s with a ×5 rage multiplier, you might be able to identify his attacks and counter them based on reaction. You currently don't see a lot of players open the Vajra fight with F, although it is a good option if they expect you to right click. Maybe this will change over time. In Vajra fights, if the terrain is very uneven, the Vajra on higher ground has a big advantage because he can land his right click and F while the enemy cannot. If left click is the only option for the Vajra on lower ground, the Vajra on high ground can win by right clicking, so try to take the high ground. In Vajra custom 1v1s, there is some incentive to try and physically evade the enemy attacks by walking around to punish them with the counter while they are still animation locked. You would sometimes do this in trios too, when the enemy monk is standing in Kurumi circle but you're not, or when you're the last living member of your team and going for survival in a chaotic group fight rather than full DPS. However, in your average trio game, you would try to use your knowledge of the rock, paper, scissors to out DPS your enemy and win the Vajra fight as fast as possible to carry your team. If the enemy Vajra has grabbed your teammate, you can left click while they press F. This will cancel the enemy slam and your teammate can struggle out. If the situation is reversed, be wary of the enemy left click. If he is close, consider pushing him back with a right click first before you slam. Note that if you slam a grabbed enemy onto another enemy, both will take damage. I want to thank my teacher 9-1, who taught me this and a lot of other things about Naraka, and Dark, Pyro, Nulos and Ryomen, who appeared in this video or answered my questions. I'm actually not a Tianhai player, but as a Kurumi main, I try to take good care of my Tianhai teammates. I hope this helped.